Good morning, everybody. This is the last day of school, and this will be my last video to you this year. Now, so much to say. Where would I start a video to you guys that talks about the year and the summer ahead? Where might I start that? Data management. Data management is where I would start that video. Here's an excellent example of data management right here, and I'm on Zoom, so this might be bobbling around a little bit. I'm sorry. Here's a lovely little watch that I wear sometimes, and I like it very much. It's got a bit of a history, actually, but I won't get into that right now. You're looking at it right now, and you're saying to yourself, what in the world is going on with all this? It's crazy. It's confusing. I don't even know what I'm looking at, right? It sort of reminds you of what you might experience when you peek into the cockpit of an airplane before you take off, and you see the pilots up there, and they're looking at gauges, and you think, my gosh, how can you keep all that straight? What does it even all mean? Well, like anything, data management is a code, and it's something you have to learn from experience, how the data is managed. Look at this interesting watch face. It's kind of cool, actually. You'll see that it's got the normal numbers, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around. It's missing 6, of course, because, well, they needed to put this extra gauge here, so they took the 6 out. But you know the 6 is there. There's 4, there's 5, and there's 7. So obviously this position here is 6. You just know that. Okay, so the numbers all the way around, and of course those are your normal hours, and these are your normal hands that point to the hours and minutes. So obviously the time is now 8:26. Okay, and you can see that the little dial down here is moving rather rapidly. So obviously that's my second dial. So this is called a sub-second dial. So right now it's coming up to the next minute. You can see there's a tiny 60 at the top of there. So that's 60 seconds counting over. And there's the next minute starting right now. Okay, great. But what's the rest of this stuff? Well, let's look at it carefully. Do you see what's happening? Do you see up here it says SUMOTUWETH? You see that? Oh, how cool. The days of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all over again. Well, isn't that freaky? And then look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way around. Oh, isn't that crazy? All the way up to 31. I wonder what that could mean. 31 days in a year. In a month. My dog just ran by and it got me confused there for a second. And in the little window over here, June. June. That's right. So what you're looking at right now is a watch that tells you the time with hours, minutes, and seconds. But it also tells you the date. Look, if I read this correctly, I can see that this little red pointer shows me that it is Friday, the 26th of June. Isn't that amazing? Now, after a few times using this watch, you can look at it and just glance at it, and you can see exactly where to look, and you can interpret that data very, very quickly. So it looks really confusing at first. I mean, you've got a million symbols and letters and numbers, but after a few times, all of a sudden it becomes quite simple. Friday, the 26th of June at 8:27. Wow, fun. Why am I telling you this? Well, I'm telling you this because what you have ahead of you right now is 2 turns of that red pointer. That's right. Your summer is laid out ahead of you on that watch face. You might think it's the longest thing in the world. You think, oh, I've got a huge, massive summer ahead of me. Well, it will be fairly long, but not that long. If you look at that face, that little pointer, it jumps 1 position every night at midnight. So when you go to bed-by, it flips over 1 more time. So if you look at that watch face and the numbers that go around the outer edge, that's 1 month. That's 1 month right in front of you. So you have 2 of those wraps, and that's your summer. So in your summer, you'll have big things and little things. Now, sometimes the little things get away from you. I know little things get away from me all the time. So I'm the worst guy as far as time goes. I let it slip away from me a lot. That's one of my big faults. So little things get away from me because I keep saying, oh, there's going to be time. That won't take me very long. It won't take me long to call that person and thank that person, right? Because that only takes me a few minutes. Well, that might be true, But maybe you still have to look at the calendar and find time to do that, right? And get on it, because the days will go by quickly. Then you have the big things. Like, I think back on our year and the successes we had before we had to go on this COVID thing. Well, think about our Christmas thing. Wasn't our Christmas thing a big success? Do you remember we took on that big project and we used the recorders? Remember, we played that song and there was all different parts of the song. And then, how can we remember the notes? It's really difficult. We can't have anybody on stage holding up the music because that would block the audience's view of the actors. Where are we going to put the music? We'll put the music in code on the back of the angel's wings. That's data management again for you, by the way. So that took time to plan in advance. So that was a bigger project and a really fun, exciting project, which I was really proud about, by the way. I think you guys did amazing on that. It was so fun and cool, but we had to do that days in advance. And we had to go through those problems days in advance. How is that going to work? That can't possibly work. We have to think of a different way of doing it. Wait a second, I've got an idea, right? So you'll have to plan for the little things and not let them get away. And you'll have to make some plans for the big stuff. And make sure there's enough time for that so that doesn't get away from you too. So what I'm telling you is, start to look at your calendar and just scratch your head a little bit. It would be a shame if you let this beautiful summer get away from you. You are old enough now and smart enough now to start making your own plans and goals for what you want to have happen this summer. And I want you to do exactly that. Don't forget also that when we went off on this COVID lockdown, and I was looking for topics for our lessons, where did I go? Straight out to the backyard, straight out to nature, right? The next thing I want you to do is never be bored. There's always something happening. Look at this. This is my backyard, and I've got these crazy prickly bushes, and my doggy barking. I've got these crazy prickly bushes growing. Have not cut them specifically because I know they're my beautiful berries. Look. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Look, this is one. Oh, and there's a little caterpillar down there. Cute little guy trying to have his little feast on the leaves. Sorry about the doggy. She's always off to bark at some squirrel or chipmunk. Anyway, so these little berries, look at this. This is a gigantic feast on one bush. Oh, incredible. And I can tell from my experience at this, I'm probably about, I'd say maybe 3 weeks out with these berries. They will continue to grow and puff up, and then they will get darker colored, almost a dark purple or black. And at that time, they're delicious, and they're just the best things in the world. So there's always something to see, and there's always changing things outside. So if you ever even feel the slightest bit of boredom, sorry about my doggy. If you ever feel the slightest bit of boredom, get outside. Take your doggy with you. Puppy! Maggie! What are you doing? So there it is. I guess that's about it. Try to make some plans. Try to use the time as wisely as you can. The little things and the big things. Take on some big things, because it's always good to have some big things there too. Never be bored. Remember the thank yous. Your parents and grandparents have taken such good care of you for the past few months. So remember to thank them kindly. And now my thanks to you. Folks, it was a crazy year, but a fun year, and we had some great successes. I'm really, really happy to have taught you. You were adorable and sweet, and I'll never forget this year. I really won't. And I'll see some of you surprisingly quickly when those two little wraps of the dial go around again. Have a safe summer. Have a beautiful summer. Thank you so much again. Bye now.